Okay, hi guys. I just want to give you a brief introduction into the actual substance abuse class and what you're going to be doing, considering it's an online class. The other introduction is more kind of about me and my background. This is more just to give you some information in regards to what's going to be expected of you in the class. Obviously, we're going to be talking about substance abuse. We're going to get into all the different types of drugs, what categories they fit into. Are certain things stimulants? Are they depressants? Are they hallucinogens? Things like that. You're going to go with all the drugs. You're kind of going to go kind of from a history. How did these things get started? Where did they come from? Kind of progress through into what's happening in today's society with these different drugs. We're going to try to look towards the end at some of the newer things coming out, some synthetic things. Obviously, we hit on substance abuse, treatment, those types of things. What you guys are going to do, this is a full semester class, so it shouldn't be too rushed. Basically, every week, it's going to be a pretty basic format. You're going to have your weekly question. On a couple weeks, I think there's 2 questions. Most weeks, there's only 1 question. Basically, those questions are going to be gathered from information out of your book, but also from outside sources. Something you're going to realize, and that I emphasize a lot in this class because it's online, is you citing outside sources. There's a couple reasons I do that. 1, academically, it's the best thing you can get in the habit of doing. 2, anytime you're in a subjective type situation where you're arguing a point of view, arguing a side of something, trying to back up your thoughts, the best thing you can do is provide research to support that. And a lot of what we do in our discussions and our weekly questions kind of revolves around that. And just being able to go out and get outside information and become well informed. Drugs is a huge issue in our society, or we say it's a huge issue, and there's a lot of argument that should things be legalized, should the drinking age be a different, and then when you go and look at different countries, you're going to see that there's different information out there, and we tend to, as a society, base a lot of our decisions off of what's either been taught to us or what we see in the media. And you guys are going to notice we discuss that a lot, the media. I have you guys make connections there quite a bit. So everything in here has to be backed up by a source. When you are backing it up with a source, I don't want you to just copy and paste a link. So if it's a website, you need to go to APA or to a citation source site and learn how to properly cite it. It should look like a bibliography citation. Okay, don't just copy and paste the link in there. You're going to have to do that for your weekly question. You're also going to have a weekly discussion. Same thing. And what you're going to notice in your weekly discussion is you're going to do your own post. You're going to post your source with it. Okay. And then you're going to have to respond to somebody else's. And when you respond to somebody else's, you are also going to have a source to back up your argument, either agreeing with them, disagreeing with them, adding in a different point, whatever it is. The same thing is going to happen when you get to your tests. Every few weeks, you're going to have a test, because some of the chapters are combined. You'll notice it's set up by modules, so you'll get a good idea of, for each section, you'll see what all goes together in regards to the exam at the end. But even on the exam, and this is important, not all the essay questions specifically say to use an outside source. But if you don't, you will not get full credit. So if it's a 5-point question and you give me a really good answer, but you don't give an outside source on that essay question, you're going to get 4 out of 5 points. Okay? On your exam, if you want full credit for your essay questions, include a source, even if it doesn't specifically tell you to. Other little things about your exam, you're not gonna be able to stop and go. You're gonna have to sit and take it all in one sitting. All the exams are 120 minutes, so you get 2 hours. You will not be able to go backwards. So once you ask a question, I think they're all set up to lock you out once you answer the question, so you won't be able to go back. Remember, your essay questions are usually at the end, so you need to save more time at the end. I say that in particular because they're always due at midnight. And what a lot of people do is they don't give themselves enough time, and then they run out of time and they don't do those essay questions. And the essay questions, you usually have 4 or 5 of them, usually worth 4 or 5 points. So you're talking a good 20 points on your test that you're missing because you're not giving yourself enough time to do those. That kind of gives you a breakdown of what's going to happen logistically. So like I said, always a weekly question, always a discussion question, and then every couple weeks you're going to have your test. Test is open book. Use your book. You need a book. I probably should have said that first. The book is in the syllabus. You'll see the name. It looks like this. This is what it looks like. Okay. So if you need to write that down, write it down. Make sure you know that author. Make sure you know all that good stuff. But basically, you need to have that. You're going to be expected to read the chapters before before you get into it. There's always going to be a PowerPoint. There's always going to be a lecture. In the lectures, I basically just kind of emphasize what I want you guys to know out of the book, hit on some good points, maybe throw in some extra information. The tests are pretty much out of the book, so you really need to, you're able to use it, okay? You're not going to get a good grade in the class if you don't have a book. That's just how it is. The other questions, a lot of them you can answer without it, but it's just so much easier if you have that book with you. And like I said, definitely for the test, you're going to want it. So like I said, you're going to have all those questions. You're going to have your tests. The other thing you're going to do is you're going to do a project or a paper, if you will. And I've worked you through the process. You're going to see on your course outline or the schedule every time that something's due. So you start off basically, all you have to do is give me your topic. Topic is pick a drug, a specific drug. Don't say stimulant. Don't say amphetamine. Give me a specific drug, cocaine, heroin. Try to pick something that interests you because you're going to research it and you're going to be doing stuff on it all semester. So that'll be your first thing. Okay. Then you're going to end up having to do a bibliography. When you do your bibliography, you need to make sure you're getting journal, article, sources for at least 3 of them. If you don't know how to find those, go to the library or come and see me. Okay, there's a database through the library's webpage. It takes you to peer-reviewed journal articles. I want 3 legitimate sources from those. The other 2, websites, newspaper articles, whatever you want to find. You might need more than 5. Your paper is going to end up being 4 to 6 pages, so don't feel like you have to restrict yourself. That's a minimum. Okay, then you're going to end up doing a literature review. So anyways, you're going to work through all these processes and you're going to end up, with a final paper at the end. Make sure you're following instructions. I try to lay it out as logistically as I can, and hopefully you understand. Now, here's the big thing that I want to tell you guys. I've done this a couple semesters now, and I've done really like a 6-week. I've done a 12-week. Here's what I want you guys to do. For all of you guys, I've set up a text remind app. So if you can put apps on your phone, this is the best thing you can do. The information I'm going to send in the email, your welcome email, but I'm also going to have it under the course home module. If you sign up for that app, you can text me questions and I can literally text you back the answers as long as I have my phone. It's going to happen much faster than me waiting for an email or you waiting for me to check my email, especially if it's weekends, nights, whatever it is. So I highly, highly suggest my students that did it this past semester, and it was my first time doing it here, are performing much better, and we're having much better contact because they're able to contact me almost in real time. Okay, so make sure you do that. It's called Text Remind, and like I said, it'll be in the course home module, the instructions, and I will also attach it to the welcome email that I send you guys. If you're on campus, I'm here. I'm in the academic building. Come see me if you have any questions. The biggest thing is don't get behind. You guys do have the full semester, so like I said, you're not so rushed, so it shouldn't be an issue. But if you don't understand how to do something physically online, don't wait 2 or 3 or 4 weeks and then say, well, I didn't understand how to submit it, or I didn't know how to get into the test. Okay, that there's not going to be an excuse for that. do things early. Technology is not an excuse. Everything is set up for different due dates. So certain things are going to be due on Tuesday, certain things on Thursday, certain things on Sunday. It gives you a little bit of space in between. You can always do it early. Anything late, you're going to have 1 week where I'll give you 50%. After that, nothing. Okay, so it's pretty strict and you got to really make sure you stay on top of it. But I think that gives you guys the good basics. Like I said, if you have any questions, and get that app, text me, ask me any questions you have, email me, or like I said, if you're on campus, stop by, say hi. I'm here all the time. And so hopefully you guys will enjoy substance abuse.